Hi there, sax community of you saxy mofos. Nice to see you. Thanks for all commenting on the Ask Me Anything video. I was overwhelmed by all your comments. It was awesome. You are all entirely fabulous. So there were so many that I think I'm going to have to break this into a couple of videos, but I guess we'll just do it in priority order. So who got in first? So hello, Mr. Michael Cooper. By the way, what I'll do in case you just want your question, I'll put them in the description box below and time so you can flick to your question. So Mr. Michael Cooper, this is the first comment. You are not only saxy, but also sexy. Can you do a video on the first notes to learn and make it slow, brackets I am dim. I like you already. Also, do you have a fella? If so, would you like to get rid of him? Okay. So, firstly, first notes to learn. I have done a video on this, actually. So I will put that above my head now. I've done a video on how to make a sound, first few notes, and then progressive from there. And I've also got, for beginners, I've also got like a series of kind of 12 steps, which makes you sound like you've got problems. I'm pretty sure alcoholics do things in 12 steps. But anyway, I've got a 12-step program for kind of getting a real rounded foundation in saxophone learning. So you might want to check out that as well. I'll put a link to that playlist above me. In answer to your other question, do you have a fella and would you like to get rid of him? I do have a fella. He's very nice to me, I'm afraid. The old one wasn't. I had a husband for a very, very short while who turned out not to be as faithful as I would hope. So we've got a new one now, and so far so good, fingers crossed. So and he's not a musician, which I think is that was a good step in the right direction. The last one was a bass player, and he was very funny. I would say never trust a funny guy. You don't want to be there when the laughter stops. Anyway, moving on from my life, Pierre. Oh, Pierre, you have a cool name. Pierre Kelly. I got one. What's the difference in sound between alto and tenor? Difference in sound? Okay, well, I personally find the tenors a little bit more mellow. So I use the tenor for kind of blues. It's also got a bit more beef to it, so like honky-tonk stuff. I tend to use it on functions just because it's a bit easier to transpose. I've done a video on transposing between alto and tenor that you might want to watch in case you have both videos. However, this might just be me, but I find the scream notes, the kind of altissimos on tenor are a little bit thin. I prefer to be on alto if I'm going to do something like house music that needs real build and pick me up. Anything kind of pop, funk, house, I tend to use the alto. It's got a bit more punch. So thanks for that one, Pierre. I hope that was helpful. Next one, Route 4343. I know you. You comment on lots of my videos. Hi there. Hi and help. My year-old Otolink hard rubber mouthpiece has started to smell bad. This is amazing. I love this. This seemed to happen to the old rubber one, but I've been playing outside. UV light maybe. What can be done to remove the sulfur smell? Oh, to be honest, I don't think I've ever really had that problem, but I know that you shouldn't put any kind of chemicals on it. So, you stumped me a little bit. I would just try warm water and like a soft cloth. You know, you can get those e-cloths for dusting so that it's not abrasive at all. I would try that first and give it a hard rub, nothing too hot, like warm water. And if you don't get anywhere with that, I guess the next thing to try would be maybe a little bit of baby shampoo, something really, really gentle. Yeah, let me know how you get on with that. If anyone else has feedback on that, then write a comment on this video, because that'd be interesting to know how you do that. But I mean, it shouldn't really have got to that place in the first place, I would have thought. I mean, make sure you are cleaning it regularly with a pull-through cloth, yeah? Okay, next up, Rocket RW Turner. Hi, Rocket, and you follow me on Instagram as well. I know you. You seem so positive and happy. Oh, I try. You know, life's short, isn't it? How long? Oh, next question. How long to get over divorce, and did music help? Now that's an interesting question. Okay, well, if you want a bit of insight into my life, so the chap that I married was someone that I met at uni studying music, and I just adored him. I thought he was such a prodigy. I thought he was amazing, and basically kind of one of the best musicians I think I've ever met. And whether that's kind of love is blind, I thought he was one of the best musicians that I ever met. And actually, I think that kind of stunted me a bit, if I'm honest. I feel like I progressed much more musically once I left him, because funnily enough, he didn't pursue music full time. I think it was a confidence thing for him, and actually, anything musical wise, I tended to be more successful than him, and I kind of put it down to personality, and as you say, being happy and easy to work with, and actually, consequently, I think I just didn't really have much faith in myself. I think maybe he didn't have enough faith in me as well. But that's a bit depressing. Maybe we'll move on. But yes, music certainly helped, and it actually was quite good to get on stage. There were some really, really great bands and stuff that kept hiring me even though I was a bit down. And you get on stage and you have to paint on a smile and get on with it, because no one wants to see someone sad when you're supposed to be entertaining them. So it was probably quite good to get back to work and get on with it, you know. And it's a great way to express myself. I often, it's really funny, I actually often play when I'm angry. I have a good like, rah! So yeah, it is kind of a tension release for me as well. So thanks for that comment. That's really sweet of you, actually. Thank you for asking that. Okay, the next one, which may be one of my last ones, and then I'll split up the video. This is Emilio, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Emilio Monoz. Hope you're from, he's from Mexico. What a cool dude. I want to thank you because I've learned a lot from your videos. Oh, okay, 3 different questions. So the first one, numero uno. Is there a reason you don't put the notes on the screen while you're sharing your transcriptions? It's a little difficult to follow sometimes when you're speaking. I'm not used to playing that often. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I've started putting the notes on the screen now because that was a big feedback that I got a lot at the beginning, but it's just really time consuming, hun. So, you know, obviously these videos I do for free, and I'm really, really busy, particularly around the summer seasons. I end up traveling a lot, and traveling is really time consuming, and it just takes ages to edit, is it? And also, like, not quite sure about copyright wise, if like transcribing music and putting it online. Certain tunes you can get in trouble for, especially things like Coldplay and stuff are absolutely vicious. But that's the main crux of it. So most of the more recent ones I've started putting the notes on, so hopefully that'll help you. Always look in the description box as well, because some of them, if it's been requested more than once, I will have written the notes in the description box, but I can't go back and edit the video. So if you particularly like one, do click, there's a little arrow on the right of the screen just below the video, and it will drop down, and that may have the notes in below as well, but it's certainly got lots of useful information. Okay, your second question. What can I do to practice playing the song that I've learned it in letters and not on a pentagram? Because I want to read it from music sheet so I can look for new songs. Okay, so if you've learnt reading by letters and then you want to read the music of it, I mean, the best way to learn to read music, well, 2 things. One is try and write it down yourself, even if you're just writing the pictures and you're not writing the rhythm. And the second one is to get involved in bands and groups so that you're reading regularly and under pressure. That's certainly when I started getting really good at sight reading, is because it's kind of sink or swim. If you're not very secure with the idea of playing with other people yet, another alternative would be to get some of these books that have a backing track to them. So there's the ones that I use are called Guest Spot. They're really good because if you know the tune already, so you buy a book that's got lots of tunes you know, you're actually not really reading the rhythm. So at least you can eliminate that aspect, and you're only really reading the pitch because you know how it goes rhythm-wise. You could sing it, but you're not sure where your fingers would go. So you're just reading the pitch, and that's quite a good fun way to do it as well. And like I say, it's sink or swim because you play it along with a backing track, and then that backing track isn't going to stop for you, so you keep going. I would really advise, Mr. Emilio, that you watch my videos on sight reading. I've made 3, which use loads of tips on how to get going with reading music and how to get better at reading music. So I'll put links to those in the description box as well. You have one more question, let's see. Finally, I've been learning to play for about 3 months. I currently have a Yamaha alto sax, but I'd like to try out tenor. Any recommendations you can give me to improve my current level and learn about more scales, reading music, and general saxophone so I can start trying new things? Okay, so first of all, moving on to tenor isn't as bad as you think. It's completely the same fingering and everything. You might find that your low notes need more support from the diaphragm. And, you know, if you're little, you might find that it's a little bit heavier. But aside from that, it should be pretty similar. Everything's a little bit more extreme, which in one sense is easier. So like with tuning, everyone says the soprano is really difficult to tune. Well, it's because the mouthpiece is so small that even the most minute change in your embouchure changes the intonation and the tuning for you, whereas the bigger the instrument, the less that happens. So if you're playing a baritone, it's almost easier to keep in tune than the soprano. So switching to tenor, I'd really recommend it. I think you'll find it really fun. Definitely do that. And then you asked about, this was kind of 2 questions in one really, improving your current level, learning more scales, reading music, general saxophone. I mean, you know, these lessons are really good fun. They're nice and short, quick fire ways to learn. If you are learning independently, I would recommend having the odd lesson every now and then, either with someone local, or I offer Skype lessons. I think lots of the saxophone teachers online offer lessons on Skype, and I know it's really expensive, but if you're only doing it every now and then, it's like a one-off thing, I think you can gain a lot from someone actually looking at what you're doing, because the way we're relating to each other, you're only taking information from me. I can't comment on what you're doing because I don't know you. I'd like to though. Yeah, you might want to consider having a lesson where someone can really analyze your playing and give you advice on what's best for you and what you need to work on. So hope that was useful, guys. I'm actually going to stop that there, and I will do another video just so this doesn't end up rambling on. So if your question hasn't been answered, don't panic. I'll put a link to the next video above my head now. See you later, guys. Thanks so much for all the comments. If you want to put another comment on, if you're like, ooh, questions, must have missed that, then do put a question on this video and I'll get back to you. Bye. So I am serious about this subscribing thing. Hit the button. Do it. Do it, or I'll drop the sack. I will. I'll do it.